Hi everybody, welcome to Vigor and welcome to my absolute beginner's guide to this pretty cool game actually from Bohemian Interactive, the people behind DayZ and Armour. So in this video what I'm going to try and answer the questions are: what is Vigor? What do you have to do? Is it like DayZ? And how do you play the missions on it as well? So I kind of think of Vigor as a little bit like it's like DayZ with an unraidable base and no zombies. Okay, so Vigor's set in the 1990s. There's been a nuclear war, and you're in Scandinavia. You're in Norway, and you've been given this rather fancy. It's not just really the base; it's the surrounding area as well. And the whole point of the game is to upgrade this base so that it can give you more resources. So you're going to go on these missions, and that last about 15 minutes, and you're going to loot, and you're going to get. I'm just going to say resources. So you're going to get things like electronic parts, food, chemicals, fuel, weapons, ammunition, all sorts of consumables, that sort of stuff. And then you bring them back, and then you can use those to upgrade your base. Now, as your base gets upgraded, what your base then does for you, apart from physically changing what it looks like, it will then start to produce more resources for you, so that you can then craft sort of weapons and consumables which you can then take back into the missions, into the encounters, as a more powerful player, which enables you to go after the better loot on things like airdrops, which means that when you come out of the mission you will then have more resources to upgrade your base even further. So that's kind of the gameplay loot. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a kind of a look around the base and this little area as well to kind of show you what's going on, and then we'll jump into we'll do a quick encounter just so I can show you the things you should sort of be looking out for, and then we're also going to have a look at the shop on console. Now this is on PC because at the time of recording this video Vigor is on early access on PC, which is a rather strange early access because Vigor will be free when it goes to full access, but at the moment you've got to pay to play. But what that does mean is they give you loads of goodies, loads of weapons and ammunition and resources. So anyway, so let's have a quick look around. Now before we go into the house, I just want to show you some cool areas. So around here, in here, this is the shooting range. And when you're here, you have unlimited ammo for the guns that you have, and so you can practice this with them as to your heart's content. And what's very cool as well is you see these scarecrows. They're designed to have the same sort of health as a player, so it gives you an idea of the time to kill of these guys, and you can use your accuracy on sort of the ones that are a little bit further away. And you can practice with anything, and you do get there we go. You do get rewards for completing the challenges where you shoot the targets within a certain amount of time. So then what we also have, let's go over here first. So you have all these things around your base that as you level your base up, they will then give you resources. So here we have a wind turbine. I think that gives me electricity, I think, when I do that one. Not quite sure. Let's go round here. I think this will turn into something for food. You've already seen the plant box up the top. Let's go around here. You saw the wood pile here, and the more you upgrade them, the more resources you get. You saw the radio antenna that gives you the in-game currency. Now this is interesting here, this little thing. So as you gather food around the encounters, around the missions, or you grow it in your base, you can give it away to the community. Well, you're giving it in fact back to the game, and that will then give you every year give you a crate. Sorry, every week that will give you a crate, and depending on how much food you donate, it will be a different type of crate, and different crates have different levels of resources in them and stuff. So it could be weapons, could be ammunition, could be resources. Now let's go inside the house to give you a quick look around the house as well. So, well, we've got leaderboards here, so you've got where everybody is, and tells you your stats as well. And then this bit here, this is, you've got the battle pass, and then you can go through different challenges. That's how I'm getting on with my upgrading my base. I can change the customization, if I've earned any crates. You can find trolls, lighters, and vinyls around. They're like collectibles. There's the leaderboards again, and there's the equipment that I've currently got on me that I will take into a encounter if I go in. You don't have to go there. You can just press up on the D-pad, and then you can have access to all this stuff there. So let's go inside the house, though. So this is a very nice visual representation of different things that are going on. So again, we can go into the store there. We can look at the different encounters there. Encounters are the main ways you'll be playing Vigor, because they last about 15 minutes. You go in, you loot, and you can either, if you die while you're in there, you lose your stuff unless you've insured it before you go in the lobby, and then you come out. But you've also got shootout, which is a bit like free for all, where you're given like a random loadout, and elimination, which is a bit like team deathmatch, so you can do those as well. We can play our different records that we find here. There's a Rubik's Cube we can play around with. If we go upstairs, there's my rat traps, got a load of food in it. Got my wardrobe here, so I can choose different outfits, but again, you can just access that from the D-pad as well. And then if we come down here, and then go down here, we've got the chemical workshop there. We've got the water distillation station. Electrical generator will be there. Utility room will be there once I do that up. But probably the coolest place is the bomb shelter, which is just around the corner here. So if we go into the bomb shelter here, this is the kind of core of the weaponry sort of here. So what you can see here is the guns that you can physically see on the wall I have in my inventory, so I can take them into a mission, and then the bits that you see on the ground I can take them in as well. Where it has a blue background, for example, like there's the sensor just there. See that blue blueprint? And then behind the Tommy gun as well. That means I have the plan for those weapons. So as long as my workbench, which is over here, or my crafting table, is leveled up enough, I can then make those items as long as I have the right resources, or if I have things like weapon parts as well. So if you can imagine, as you're playing the game and you're getting more resources and you are unlocking challenges from the battle pass or the story challenges and things like that, or finding things in crates or finding things in airdrops, you'll get the plans for lots of weapons and different stuff which you can then craft, which gives you this kind of loop of resources, plans, crafting. You're more powerful, therefore you can get more stuff. So it's pretty cool, and it's looks very, very nice indeed, I think. And I think if you're into DayZ, especially if you're into sort of the loot goblin side of DayZ, where you go around, collecting lots of resources and stuff, and then building a base and keeping it in, well, Vigor is very, very much like that. And nobody can raid this base. They can't take anything away from you. If you do play it in early access on PC, when it goes to free-to-play and 1.0, what will happen is it will all get wiped. But you will have had to buy the reinforcements pack to get into early access, and therefore they're going to reissue all of that. But I want to talk about that in a little bit when we look at the console store as well. So let's see if we can jump into an encounter now. So I'm just going to press down on my D-pad and it's going to look for a one. As I say, these last about 15 minutes, but you don't have to stay in there for the 15 minutes. What happens is after 15 minutes, radiation starts coming in, and then you have to find a way out. You don't have to fight other players. You don't have to stay in very long. You can just go, you can get what you want, and then get out. You don't have to take weapons in. You could just go in with no weapons, or maybe a very simple weapon. Okay, so we're in the lobby now. Now, this is quite important because we can do some few things here. So if you look at the bottom left corner, we can actually take out insurance. And because I've got loads of money, I'm going to take out some insurance. Now, that's paid for with crowns, which is the in-game currency. You do earn in-game currency from the battle pass and from having, you can find it in crates. I think you can find it in the world as well, but you don't find much. You'll probably end up using real money to buy that sort of stuff. And because I've got loads of real money as well, I'm going to add more loot to the mission as well. In fact, we're going to do it a couple of times. So I've increased the amount of loot that is in the encounter now for everybody. Now, in early access, almost all the PC players, because we're given lots of money to play around with, everybody's boosting loot. So what you find is when you go in, you find more stuff. Now I could spend some money on a better airdrop as well. But let me just show you that one. So now the airdrop will have more stuff in. So what happens is in about 5-6 minutes into the encounter, a plane will fly over the top and it will drop an airdrop down. There's only one, and then you can go after it if you want. You can imagine lots of the people in the lobby will want to do that as well. These lobbies from PC Early Access, they're all single player lobbies. Multiplayer will be coming soon. So there's the map. The orange houses are the exits, and then the turquoisey things, they're the points of interest. Now what we're quickly going to do, we're quickly just going to move away, and we're just going to hide here just for a minute. Okay, let me just get my submachine gun out. Okay, so now we can have a better look at the map. So here we go. So there's me, and there we have the signals detector. If you go there, that will then, I think that blocks everybody's radio. So everybody's carrying a radio which can be detected by certain things. Right, my position is temporarily real. So somebody's used the signal detector, so I've got to move now. Because if they look at their map, they'll know where I am. Let's take these mushrooms. So I'm just going to quickly just move. So, right, they're probably down there actually. I just want to talk to more food. So let's just lie down here for a bit so I can go through that map. There we go. Then we have the comm station. At the comm station you can change the direction of the airdrop and change where it is. Disruptive tower, that changes, that blocks everybody's radio signals. Time safe, so if you go there you can open up a safe, but we know it's being unlocked there. In fact, there are time saved all over the map, but when one gets announced that will happen. There we've got another comm station there. There we've got the barred house, so when you go there you have to break your way into it. Sometimes it's a house, sometimes it's a cave, and there'll be some good loot in there and a time safe, but it tells the other players when that's happening, and you can see it on the map. Now these exits here, we can go here whenever we like. However, on some maps they will have little no entry signs, and you'll need to have certain things to get through them. So for example, there might be an exit next to the sea, which means you'll have to have some fuel to get there. Some will need some electronic parts to exit, but they'll be on there. But it's fairly easy to, if you spend a few minutes just going through, some of these buildings, you will find the stuff relatively easy. And this area here, that's where the airdrop will be. Now let's just see. So there's that. Here we go. So these are all the things I'm taking into. I've got some bandages, I've just found some food, I've got lots of ammo, I've got some caffeine for healing myself. And now, so what I would suggest is when you're new to the game, what you really want to do is keep everything nice and simple, and just when you spawn in, just pick a different exit. So, well, actually say probably that one, and then just work your way around the edge of the map to get to that exit area, and then just loot as you go along. Now, the time to kill in Vigor is incredibly quick. So if somebody has the jump on you and they see you first and they start firing first, chances are you'll be dead. So have your head on a swivel. You shouldn't really walk along the paths like I'm doing here. Right, so someone's used the signal detector. That's something you can buy in the shop, or you can craft. Right, so there, somebody's having a gunfight down here. Now, when you get detected by the signal detector, what happens is somebody uses it, and it means that you're the closest person to the person who's used the signal detector. So it's always a good idea to move at that point. But just be aware that there could be people around you. And I would suggest, just by doing this, just by doing a simple mission where you're not worried about engaging other players, you're just learning the maps, learning how it feels to move around. You'll get a feel for the game, and you'll get a feel for the environment you are in. In fact, I tell you what, we'll do this really quick. We'll just head for that exit area there. So I'll just put a marker down.
Use the comm station to change the drop zone.
Okay, so this comm station, so we might as well use it to booby trap the airdrop. I like that one. More food. Let's have a quick look. So let's go down and let's loot. Might as well go and show you looting a house. You can switch over between shoulders as well. I always tend to prefer to stay in third person. Okay. Open areas are very, very, very dangerous. Especially in a lobby like this that is really full. Okay, so there's a house there. The ambience and the atmosphere of Vigor is excellent. Be very, very careful on the more urban maps where there's, well, they're not really more, but the maps that have got larger villages and towns, because people do camp them and wait for people to come in. People do also camp the exits as well, so that's why, again, when you're starting to learn, right, so people have already been here. You can see the doors open. So this potentially is very dangerous. Left some food. This is very DayZ like now. So I would say if you've done this on your first missions, just grabbing a few things. You've got a little bit of a feel for the place. You've got a feel for the movement. Let me just show you. So on your left shoulder button, so on LB, you can see you've got all your consumables that you're bringing in. And on your right shoulder button, you've got your different weapons that you can swap between. And like all good first and third person shooters, there is a prone, which is very, very important, I always think. Let's go and get that, whatever that is. Alright, that's the, you've used that.
Beware of the drop zone. It will be dangerous.
So this is where you could have people camping the exit, but because we're leaving so early, the chance of anybody being here is really low. So just serpentine, as they say. Right, there we go. So as you can see, a really simple encounter. All that's done is we've gone in, we've looted a very, very small number of pounds. Not much at all, but I didn't want to die. And we've leveled up a bit, and I've got some more resources, and let's go into my base and see if we can. Okay, so go into my shelter. Here we go. Right, so let's see what we could upgrade. Can I upgrade my workbench? No, I haven't got enough metal parts. We could upgrade our box of herbs, or our box of plants, or our antenna. No, we can't do that. Our rat traps we would. Let's upgrade our box of plants. And we're just going to build it, so that's going to take 5 minutes. Some of the bigger stuff can take a long time unless you pay the extra to do it instantly with crowns. As you can see in the top right hand corner, I've currently got 6,000 crowns, which is loads of money. 320 food and 8,900 materials. So I've got lots and lots of stuff. And so as you can see, in order to get onto the next level, I need to upgrade another 3 things, and that will then open up this level, and so on and so forth. And we keep looting, keep getting resources, keep unlocking things, keep getting better weapons, keep getting better plans, and then going back in and doing that sort of stuff. So it's very interesting, it's very fun, and what I found is Vigor really is a lot of fun when you're doing well. So when you've killed, like, if you kill someone on a encounter, you're like, right, that's brilliant. And then normally when you loot someone on an encounter, they'll normally have lots of stuff on them, so you can take the stuff and you can just leave, and you'll be happy with that. When you have a run of a few encounters where you keep dying, that can be very frustrating, because obviously you're losing the stuff if you haven't insured it before you go in, and that can be a bit like, I don't particularly like that. So anyway, that's the gameplay loop. I highly recommend that if this looks good to you, obviously play it when it goes free to play. On console it's free to play now, but on PC when it goes free to play. If you think this looks really, really good, then it is worth paying to get the reinforcements pack. I think it's about $16.99 in GB pounds, because they give you an awful lot of stuff to play around with. If I go into my weapons, assault rifles, what have I've got 1 of them, 2 of them, 7 bugles, an AK, VS. We've got submachine guns. I've got a Thompson, 4 ADRs, I've got a Berry, 2 Gal. I mean, some of these things I've earned as we've gone along. I've got 2 of those, 1 of those, 3. I mean, I've got loads of money as well to buy extra stuff as well. So it gives you a chance to practice with things that otherwise you wouldn't have a chance to know about. So things like the sensors and the traps and the different healing items. So that's good. So it's definitely worth checking out. So let's now jump across to the console version, because I just want to have a look at this, just show you kind of the shop. Let's maximise this. So this is console Vigor. Why can't I move? No, it's not. Back to PC Vigor. We want console Vigor. Come on, console Vigor, where are you? You've crashed. Ava Media. There we go. Central. Alright, let's fire this up. So this is now connecting to my Xbox, which hopefully Vigor's still running on. There it is. Right, so let's maximise this, maximise that. Right, so here we go. Looks really good. And what we'll do is we will go and have a look at the store. So what we have is you can buy the Battle Pass. There is a free Battle Pass. Just claim that reward. I don't want to buy it. Thank you very much. And the items you see on the top line, they're the things you get for free, and the items you see on the bottom line are the things that you get if you pay to have the Battle Pass. So that's quite an interesting way of playing it. But one of the things that I'd say look at in the store is look at the premium packs. And if Vigor was free to play now on PC and I wanted to check it out, and I didn't want to spend the money on the reinforcements pack, I would probably get something like the Eradication Essentials pack. Now it's £4.19, so it's the price of a couple of posh coffees. And in this set, what you get is you get loads of good stuff. You get 5 Bugle assault rifles, 200 rounds of ammunition for them, 5 of the, I guess it's a DMR, the OR H-bar, 200 rounds for that. You get the LMG, 300 rounds for that. You get that assault rifle with 200 rounds for that. You get that shotgun with 100 cartridges, and you get 5 pistols with 100 bullets, and you get 100 crowns. So that is a really nice starter set, and you're throwing Bohemian Interactive a fiver. The Annihilation Arsenal, this one, so for £8.39, so 3 posh coffees, you're getting 10 of probably the best assault rifles in the game, the L851. You're getting the L96 sniper rifle, which is the best sniper rifle, with 100 rounds for that. You're getting 10 of the ADR97, that's like a LMG, with 300 rounds. You're getting 10 of the SWSH, the ADR97, which is a very nice submachine gun, or it's a PDW really, with 500 rounds. You're getting 10 of those shotguns with 100 rounds, 10 of those revolvers with 100 rounds, and 200 crowns. So that there, that is really worth doing it. And then I would say ignore any of the ones with the skins on, because the skins you just don't seem to get as much stuff. Yeah, you get a nice skin, but you don't get many weapons. And weapons are the things that you want to be taking into encounters. Even if you just take one decent assault rifle or one decent submachine gun, because that'll make the difference between you winning or losing gunfights sometimes, where it's a 50-50. And they're the things I would probably recommend people buying. One of those packs, and then if you really enjoy the game, buy the season pass, buy the battle pass, just because it's fun to work through it and get the rewards and get the plans and that sort of stuff. So there we go. There's my beginner's guide to Vigor. Hopefully I've kind of give you some ideas. Obviously there's lots of other guides out there, people who know much more about the game than I do, but I've got to say I have thoroughly enjoyed my time with Vigor. Coming back to it on early access on PC. I played it a fair bit when it first came out on PlayStation, and a little bit on Xbox, or the other way around. I think it might have been Xbox first, then PlayStation. But it's changed a lot, the game, since then. And I feel like it's a much more rounded experience. If you're a little bit bothered about the idea of pay to win, buying weapons and things like that, remember you don't have to do any of this. You don't have to buy anything. You can just go in with the Tommy gun or a pistol, creep around like you would in DayZ, find the stuff that you need, extract, and slowly build it up that way. I mean, because it is a free-to-play game, the grind to make your base bigger, and better does take time, because they want you just playing the game all the time, don't they? But from my opinion, it's definitely worth having a go with, and I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm going to finish with one bonus tip, as the great Wobo says, and that's to do with if you play on controller, please go into the controls option and go down and go to the advanced controls and check the dead zones and make sure you haven't got huge dead zones. In fact, that's too. Turn the dead zones down unless you've got a problem with stick drift, because out of the box the dead zones are way too large for controller, and it means that you lose lots of the fine controller movement adjustments, if you like, when you're aiming down sight. So you can adjust that, and that will give you the nice smooth movement rather than going like this all the time. Okay, anyway, hopefully this video has been useful. If it has, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and of course I'll see you all again soon.